Okay, as Neil Young would say, listen up, Spuds. In honor of our beloved John Sampas, who passed away very recently, who was a great benefactor of this here enterprise called Lowell Celebrates Kerouac, back in the days when Brian Foy and Roger Brunel came together to put this whole thing together. We lost a good man, and many, many moons ago, his brother, Sebastian, Sammy Sampas, who died, I believe, on the shores of Anzio. Mike, Warren, Anzio, right? Well, Sammy Sebastian Sampas was a very, very good friend of Jack Kerouac. And they were both in the boy officers together at Lowell High School. The boy officers, that was a big deal back in those days. That was like, very patriotic to come from Lowell and be in the boy officers. I myself was in the boy officers. I was not going to take Jim with Massey, that's for sure. And Sebastian Sam Sampas was in the boy officers with Jack Kerouac. Also, Jack Kerouac was on the track team, on Haggerty's track team at Lowell High School. They were called the Three Johnnies. There was Johnny Lang, who ended up being a math teacher at Lowell High School, Johnny Kerouac, and Johnny Koumantzelis, who was my uncle. My Uncle Johnny died in an airplane in World War II. It crashed into the side of a mountain, and they all went up in flames. And when Jack Kerouac heard about his beloved high school friends, Sammy Sebastian Sampas and Johnny Koumantzelis, he was devastated. It bothered him very much. Just think about people you go to high school with, and one day, when they're 20 years old, right out of high school, they're dead. So, Jack Kerouac died in 1969. He was living in St. Petersburg, Florida. I won't go into the circumstances of what led to his death. You could easily find that out by Googling around. But I want to read this, and it's called The Editor's Note. In late 1969, St. Petersburg Times reporter Jack McClintock visited several times with Jack Kerouac at Kerouac's home on 10th Avenue North for this story, which was published October 12th, 1969, Columbus Day. Kerouac died 9 days later, on October 21st, at St. Anthony's Hospital. According to Kevin Hayes, author of the book Conversations with Jack Kerouac, McClintock's interviews were Kerouac's last. And now I'm going to read a paragraph of Jack Kerouac's own words that were published in this interview. So this is Jack Kerouac speaking about the day that he met Ken Kesey, when the bus of merry pranksters from Kesey's farm in Oregon, the further bus that Neil Cassidy drove, friends of the Grateful Dead, Kesey, the bridge, who was the bridge between the Beats and the hippies. Jack Kerouac was in New York City, and the merry pranksters drove to New York City. And Ginsberg and Orlovsky went and picked up Jack, and they brought him over to where Kesey was. They're having a party, and Jack was there, and he met Ken Kesey. Well, this is what Jack Kerouac said to Mr. McClintock from the St. Petersburg Times, and I quote, open quote, "At a party with Kesey's merry pranksters, Kesey came up and wrapped an American flag around me. So I took it." Parentheses. Kerouac demonstrates how he took it. And the movements are tender. Close parentheses. "And I folded it up the way you're supposed to. And I put it on the back of the sofa. The flag is not a rag." Close quote. Jack Kerouac. In honor of Sammy Sebastian Sampas and my Uncle Johnny, who gave their lives for the red, white, and blue. Thank you.
All right, George.